Hello, everyone. This morning, I was telling my group to be bullish. Why was I bullish this morning? Why was I bullish for this week specifically? Look at what's happening behind me. Earnings. Large tech stocks are reporting earnings this week. So, what do we know about earnings? Heading into earnings dates, price starts to ramp up. That's what you get when essentially it's called an earnings run-up. So, as you can see, we have Tesla, Meta, and Microsoft reporting earnings Wednesday after hours. And then after hours on Thursday, we have Apple reporting earnings. Heading into an event, heading into earnings, price tends to start bouncing upwards, okay? And that is essentially what I thought was going to end up happening. That's why we were leaning a bit bullish today. That's why I was telling people to be bullish today. That's exactly what ended up happening. We bounced. So it's never, ever would I ever really be that bearish during an earnings week like this. All right. So now with that being said, we started bouncing already. The market already started to bounce. The SPY already bounced above 603. What's next? So in today's video, we're going to take a look at what the next steps are. All right. We're going to take a look at the large tech stocks, the SP500, the NASDAQ, all that good stuff. All right. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. So honestly, this video should be relatively short. What we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at all the large tech stocks. All right. Amazon, new all-time highs. Microsoft, monster bounce. Off of the lows when everyone essentially became very, very bearish. You do not become extremely bearish after a huge drop in the market. You look for the opposite to occur. By the point when the market already drops like this, it's too late. We were already short on the overall market up here, essentially, right? After the market already drops, who do you think you are that you think you're going to start getting more downside potential? That's not how the market works. So the entire market heading into earnings this week, these large tech stocks have started showing a massive amount of buying pressure. Meta, new highs, monster buying pressure. Apple, monster buying pressure off the lows here. It's just ridiculous strength off Apple here. Tesla, not so much, but regardless, still holding support. Google bouncing, great. Netflix, doing its thing, but essentially, NVIDIA, monster bounce. When these large tech stocks are trading outside of their lower level of the Bollinger Band that I always like to talk about. NVIDIA was down 17% in a day, not based off of earnings, based off of another company's performance. When it is trading like this outside of the standard deviation, which is this lower line on the Bollinger Band, right? When it's trading outside of the standard deviation, it needs to revert back into the mean. That's what ended up happening today. And that's why it was just very, very simple to say, hey guys, look, there are a lot of bullish catalysts heading into this week. We just had an extremely bearish catalyst with the DeepSeek information from China, right? You have to lean bullish. You had to lean bullish. And whoever leaned bullish today, whoever wanted to buy the dips, congratulations. It worked out really, really well. I tried to tell people not to be bearish, and it worked out. So now, essentially, what are the next steps? So this is a daily chart of the S&P 500 futures. We are still not yet above major resistance on the ES. We're also not really above major resistance on the NASDAQ. There's still a bit more room to go. So if we look at it in terms of the SPY, we have basically the 603 level is a very, very important level on the SPY. And we still have room to go to 607. So this 603 to 607 zone, especially where essentially this gap is. This gap is at 606.80. We still have room to go to the upside for there on the SPY. And as long as we could hold this 599 to 601 level on the SPY, even if we were to pull back, we can still continue bouncing. Heading into Friday, essentially. If Apple's earnings are good, if these other large tech stocks report good earnings Wednesday after hours, Thursday we could gap up. Thursday morning we could gap up. Then if Apple's earnings and INTC's earnings are good Thursday after hours, Friday morning we could gap up. So it's going to be a pretty interesting week. So this is not even including the fact that we have Wednesday at 2 p.m. the federal funds rate, FOMC statement at 2:30 p.m. Then we have GDP numbers Thursday morning, and then Friday morning we have employment and core PCE data coming out. So this week is, and then Chicago PMI at 9:45 a.m. and then even more news Thursday at 10 a.m. Really, really interesting week. Really, really interesting week. It was just the wrong choice to be bearish after the market already dropped. So anyway, like I was showing, if these large tech stocks report good earnings, the SPY can bounce back up to 607. The NASDAQ can essentially bounce back up to around 525, maybe even 528. But by all means, I mean, this is not where you would want to be bearish. We were bearish up here. Okay? Now that the market is starting to bounce, you have to play alongside the momentum. The momentum is bullish, wanting to be bullish, heading into earnings. Very, very simply. But now with the FOMC statement tomorrow and the Fed rate, it becomes much more difficult to be extremely, extremely one-sided. Because with this news, a lot can happen, especially at 2 o'clock, 2:30. But overnight, after the market closes tomorrow, I would be really, really surprised if the overall market is just not really bullish, because it would be really, really tough for. So now here's the thing, like if these large tech stocks start to fail on earnings, right? Then it's like this would mark a really, really difficult time in the market. I would be very, very surprised. I would be very, very, I would be legitimately shocked if the majority of these large tech stocks don't report good earnings. So I'm either neutral or bullish on all of these earnings as a whole. Because if the majority of them report bad earnings, we're not bouncing. We're going to make new lows. The DeepSeek news and the fact that these earnings reports are bad is not good. Is not good for the market, and it would be really, really tough to recover for any real tangible reason. It's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting, but so far so good. We just take things intelligently. We have to apply what we see on the charts and understand what happens due to past performance and just apply it. And thankfully, we've been doing that. So if you guys want more insights intraday with my day trades, with my actual thought process, with my analysis of what's going on in the market, you guys could get a 7-day free trial and join down below. It's up to you. But regardless, tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting. I would be surprised if tomorrow is very, very fluid, a fluid trading environment. But again, it's another neutral or bullish day tomorrow, most likely. Definitely not a time to go short. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Thank you. Have a good one.